I think we're live now. Sorry about the delay, guys, but we had some technical difficulties. I think are we streaming? All right, so I think I'm seeing some feedback. Finally! Jesus. What's up, dude? Yo! All right. That's encouraging. How's it looking? Looking okay? We had some technical difficulties with the audio the other day. We had a power outage, and I think it might have affected my Scarlett 18i20 for the worst. What's up, Ryan Allen? Right? How's the mic, the guitar? A little bit. Working okay? Yeah. It was, I'm getting like almost like this little static now. I hate when that happens. Know what that'll borrow? What's up, Jablonski King? Jablonskiing? Jablonsking? Oh, man. You get some artifacting going on. Do I really? Check, check, 1, 2. What's up? Now, a guy wrote yellow. Does he mean the picture looks a little too yellow? Yeah, like a buzz in the background, like static in the background. Yeah, I'm telling you, that's like permanent. That's like permanent. Is that better, or is it just everything lower? Is that better, or just too quiet now? Let's see. Get a little feedback on that. What's up, Maine? What's up, Dunwich? What's the crackling? Yeah, see the crackling. I'm telling you. You know, the skin tone's right on. Static even when you're playing, yeah. It feels like it's just nonstop. I swear to God, we had that power outage that was on when the power popped. And that's too low. Yeah, that's too low. People saying too low. And there's an echo repeat. Really? Can't hear you. Too quiet now, too low. All right. So there it is, but yeah, I hear that. It's like a crackle in the back. It's annoying me. It's annoying me that I know I'm going to have to like buy a new unit because I don't know. I don't know what happened there. I guess I could try and replace cables, but I don't think so. I think what you're hearing there is the sound of a... Because nothing else has changed. The only thing that changed was we had that power outage. Anyway. That echo's gonna kill me. Gonna have to live with it. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah. Say what Tech. Thank you. Say what Tech just sent me. That'll go towards the new interface because it looks like I'm heading that way. You know, we had a, and the thing is there was definitely a pop the other day when I was in the basement when the power went out, and it looked like the lights got brighter before they got darker. If you know what I'm saying. I mean, I have everything on multiple power protectors and surge protectors and all that stuff, but if I turn the monitor off, does it? No, that doesn't do anything. Anyway, thanks, buddy. Return it under warranty. I bought it used. No, I have surge protectors. Someone wrote, no surge protector? No, I get surge protectors. But, you know, they didn't pop or anything. It, you know, like I said, the power went out. And I turned it off before the power came back on again. But, I don't know. I once lost a TV like that. The TV in the living room. That was a tube TV. It popped. We lost power. And that TV never turned on again. That was the end of that. What's up, Jimmy? My max volume is, it is not bad. Can't hear it when you talk or play. Okay. Yeah, I mean, admittedly, it's not right up front, but it's enough that I'm like, what the hell's that crackle? Right? My tolerance is fairly low for this kind of stuff. Do you have conditioners? I don't have any line conditioners, no. I do have surge protectors, but not a conditioner. You know what? Now that I think about it, I actually do have a conditioner up in the attic for the stereo system. I have a giant monster conditioner. You know, maybe I should bring that downstairs and run it through this just to see if it makes a difference running it through the conditioner. But I'm feeling like it's not. I'm feeling like, you know, it burned out some little part in it that helps with just, or, you know, it burned, I don't know, it did something. Now it's picking up interference. Or it's generating its own interference. It's doing something. Like it. I'm not a fan. Hey, Steve, what's cracking, man? I'll tell you what's cracking. My Focusrite. My Focusrite's cracking. That's what's cracking. Tell us about your Strat. Well, this is a 1989 made in Japan ST54. The 50. This should have a disc here, but I replaced that with a graphite string tree because it works better. Everything else is original except for the pickups, which are Lindy. Are these Lindy Fralins? No, these are. What are these? These are lace sensors. Lace sensor Holy Grails. And it's got a wicked V neck on it. I don't know how much of that V. Maybe right about there you can really see the V on it. The crazy V on this puppy. It's got a crazy V. This was my main guitar for many years. Like 10 years, you know. So what's up? Hey, what's up, Will? So this guitar served me well. I've had it many years. You know, it still keeps chugging. This is the type of guitar, you know, I've just really just beat up on for many years and can't seem to hurt it. You smash it and it says, hit me again, and this time put a little stank on it. It's been pretty good. And I like the pickups. They're not... they're not noiseless, right? It's that lace sensor thing, right? They're not noiseless. They're like less noise, so not completely. And the bridge is a lot hotter than the rest. Yeah, I was playing a rig the other day. What was I playing that I thought would be good for this guitar? I think it was the old Blues Rum. But that's got a yeah, that's a Rosen cab. I'm using a Marshall 1960 JMP. I think I had switched that with like a Blues, yeah, a Blues Deluxe. I thought that sounded really good. I like that. Yeah, crack-a-doodle-doo. I know. Dude, this crackle, it's making me insane. My annoyance level is at, on a scale from 1 to 10, it's like 11. But I'm going to have to work through it and get a different interface for next month. Pissing me off. Hey, Trishak. Someone said the crackling stopped. No, I still hear it. Hey, RJ. You can get lost in that patch. I better check these comments here. Am I out of coffee already? Damn it! This night's just shitting so far. I got the crackle. I'm out of coffee. Oh. How you doing? You know Isabella by Hendrix. No, I don't know that one. But you can have playing the SRV. I can play SRV. Sure. Smash the guitar. No, I'm not smashing that. This is one of my favorites. It's my 89 Strat that I've lovingly named 89 Strat. Oh, that's right. I got that stupid mag lock on this thing. Right there. Mag lock. That's to set the... Yeah, right. Is it off? No, it's on. I might have to reset it. Because it's not engaged right now. I can feel it. I know, off to a crappy start. You're right, Juan. All right. Here we go. Oh, Chuck. Dude. Bro. Chucky. You're the man, bro. Really appreciate that. I will, I'll definitely put it towards a new interface. I'm gonna need it. The crackle's starting to get lower. I'm getting used to it. You know, maybe it will. Maybe we can all will it away. Through the sheer will of our minds. How about a little Eric Johnson? You know, I never really learned any Eric Johnson, which is crazy because I remember him from the start. I remember Eric Johnson at the very beginning, like the mid-'80s, like 86. I know, lots of crackling. I know, see, people are hearing it. I'm telling you, it's crackles. I've already tried turning it off and back on, and this and that. It's, doesn't make a difference, no. No, I just feel like I'm... Not make any difference, no. No. Oh, about that? Nope, that's off. That's off. That's off. Anything? Anything? Bueller? Well, I've just hit every button on the front of this thing. And nothing. Thanks, Daniel. It's funny because I think it's gone for a second. And I'm like, oh, is it gone? And then I hear it again. Edwin says, dirty line voltage. I don't think so because, I mean, the only difference is that we had a power outage, right? So we had it pop, I guess, 2 days ago. And, I immediately came over and of course I leave it running on like all the time. It's like I very rarely turn the unit off. And so it was on when the power went out. And then, I came over and turned it off, you know. And then when the power came back on, when I rebooted the system, you know, later that night, power was only out about 10-15 minutes. And then I noticed the crackling. You son of a bitch! I mean, it sounds like a hardware thing, right? I mean, oh no, it's there. Oh, Cheddar Kung Pao, dude, you're awesome, man. All right, well, with that kind of contribution between, you know, with those, with, you know, well, now we got to start talking. What am I going to get for an interface? Right. This discussion has quickly moved to what am I buying to replace this thing? Am I going to get another Scarlett 18i20 second gen? Right? I'd get the new one. I'd get the second gen unit. Which in theory should have a better pads, better preamps than this unit. That crackle though. I don't know about you, but I have a very low annoyance threshold. I don't bear fools gladly, and I don't bear crackle gladly. I'm trying not to get hung up on the crackle. He says, I don't think we should get too hung up on the crackle. I'm trying not to. Steinberger, you are 824. Hey, thanks, Dan. That's super appreciated, man. Driver update it, reinstall. You know, I would think that, but I don't know how a driver would mess with this. I don't see how a driver. You know, if this was, that's a constant. That sounds like a hardware crackle, right? Doesn't it? That's hardware. That's hardware. I don't think that's a software issue. Software would be if it was crackling like it was stuttering. You know what I'm saying? What kind of interface you looking to get, Steve? Thunderbolt? You know, yeah, I could, you know. I'm running a PC, so technically USB, you know. I've got 3.1, USB 3.1, but good luck finding an interface that's beyond, you know, USB 2.0. Apparently they stopped there. You know? Oh, thanks, John. John says you played great, by the way. Thank you. Your hardware blew up. Yeah, I think so. I think that's what happened. I think it sounds hardware. Yeah. Yeah, I think it sounds hard. Probably some sort of a noise suppressor. You know, or it broke something that's now emitting like extraneous friggin' electricity. Anyway, it's some, and I don't know. All right, anyway. I'm trying not to obsess. Sounds like mouse crackle. You know what? You're right about that. Right, wait, hold on. I'm not hearing it tied directly to the movement of the mouse. That is common, right? That's a grounding issue. You know what? I'll try it through a different interface, but literally nothing has changed. We did this 2 nights ago, guys. Right? I lost power like yesterday. I think it was yesterday. It was after my last live show, which was like literally 48 hours ago. And we didn't have this. Maybe it's an actual mouse. I actually have 2 cats that are fairly vicious, and many a mouse have gone down in their presence. So they're pretty good at keeping the mouse, and actually we even get the little shrews, right? It's like a vole. They look like a mouse, except they don't have a tail. The tail's like a little nub, and they're poisonous. If you get bit by one, it'll swell up like a big, you know, from a reaction to the poison. So he thinks it's from, you think it's from the mic? All right, guys, watch your ears. I'm going to pop the mic off right now, okay? I'm going to pop the mic off. When this goes, it's going to be a loud pop. So I'm warning you right now. Watch your ears. You ready? 3, 2, 1. I could still hear it. It says killer shrews. Yeah, killer shrews. They I think they paralyze their prey by giving them a little poison, right? Someone said, change guitars. I'm going to unplug the guitar completely. I'm just going to unplug it from the front. I still hear it. Serenity now. Serenity now. Remember that? Remember that driveway that spun out of control into a new set of doors, that spun out of control into a whole new electrical box? Well, now it's spun out of control into this. Give us the Hendrix chord, like that's one of his. He also liked this C sharp minor. That's one of his. Because that C sharp minor is related to the E major. And he loved the interplay back between that C sharp minor and the E major. So he's up here like almost like a C sharp minor. Right, and then it's like that is almost like an E chord. Then it helps if you hit it. Oh man, he had so many good riffs. But yeah, all the tritones, right? Maybe I'll get I mean, that works with it, but that's probably a little too heavy. Admittedly, I'll even agree that's a bit much. This is the one I was playing the other night that everybody thought was pretty good. Someone said Immigrant Song. That's the one song I know not to play because they're adamant. They're friggin' pretty brutal. Led Zeppelin they have no humor for that. They're not amused. It's like a minor. Kind of cleans up well too. Weirdest lick. There was a guy who used to come in the music store who used to go, which is all tritones. But if you listen, he's doing 4 notes. He's doing 3 notes in a 4-note pattern, right? And it's just like pick a fret and just go across it like a diagonal angle. And then he'd drop a note. And he would do it in like boom doom ding dum boom doom ding do boop ba do boop dee go do dee dee, right? So that's always an odd one. Yeah, very discordant. Yeah. Yeah, he used to whip that one out. I finally said, yeah, you got to show me that, you know. You know who? He was probably, actually, if you listen to the solo from Dirty Laundry by, which was, you know, a really popular song around that time, maybe a few years, 2 or 3 years earlier than that. But if you listen to that song, that the solo in that guy's hitting those kind of like those tritone moves like all throughout that. He's got this big angular movement to that solo. I don't know who did the solo, but it's very tritone-ish, you know. Isn't that the devil's chord? Yeah, it is. In fact, that was considered an evil dissonant tone, and there was a time where, you know, you could literally be burned at the stake for playing it or writing it into music, because it felt like it sort of would corrupt people or lead them to a dark place, you know. What's up, Brian? I hear electric zapping, Steve. Yeah, we all hear it. We've been that was check the first 20 minutes of this video. It's pretty much me going, what the? That's why I was 2 or 3 minutes late. I was like punching every button on this thing, going, work, damn it! What the hell is wrong with you? Pixie, did you go to Berkeley? Very briefly. So when I went, they had a thing called Career Exploration. They probably have the same program, but they just probably retooled it. It was called Career Exploration, and you could just, you know, it's like whether Berkeley would be right for you. And they basically just put you through a, you know, a little mini program. I took one that had a little bit more. It had like a performance angle to it, so I had to take like some extra ensembles. It was really like a true summer course, and it went a few weeks longer than the standard program, but it was cool. And you so I had to take, if I remember correctly, music theory, ear training, music appreciation through listening, and I forget, there was maybe one other course, and then the rest was ensembles, an all guitar ensemble, and then 2 or 3 just straight up ensembles, you know, and that was mandatory. You know, you got graded, and then a weekly private lesson with a teacher for 30 minutes. And my teacher was a jazz guy who played a big fat 7-string jazz, you know, and he'd put like just a bunch of chords in front of you and go, ready? You're going to solo with this, ready? A 1, a 2, a 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'd be like, oh God, dude, I don't know that. we weren't meeting. I had much better guitar teachers than that guitar teacher, that's for sure. So Berkeley was cool, but, you know, I tell you, you get in with a good teacher, you can go a long way, pretty quickly. First solo was Walsh, second was Lukather. So I wonder if it was Lukather. That sounds like Luke. Right? Crazy like that. Jazz is very complicated. Well, there's the understatement of of the week. What's up, Zach? And 2 years, no more copyright for Led Zeppelin 1. Oh, really? I don't think so. I'm not sure about that. Maybe where you live. But here, I want to say the Sonny Bono rule, which was something pushed through, I think, by his widow. He was working on it, and then I think he died in a skiing accident, and they sort of used that, his passing, as maybe a little bit of leverage to get it through. And it went, copyright in the U.S. was like 30 years, and then it was 50 years. Then it was like the life of the owner. Then it was like the life of the owner in like 20 years or 30 years. Now I think right now it might be the life of the owner plus 100 years. You can thank Disney for that, because they were a huge proponent of the Bono law, because from Sonny Bono, who was a congressman, he and an artist. So, right, he was the right guy to push that through. They basically said to protect the royalties for the families after the person passes away. And they pointed to his untimely passing as a good reason to do it, right? The reality is that Mickey Mouse was about to go public domain. And Disney was shitting themselves. They didn't know what to do, and they got this through so that Mickey Mouse remained, a copyright product and not public domain. And now it's like, they've got it. They're pushing it out as far as they possibly can. Eventually, because it was created by Walt Disney, who did die in like 56? Did he pass away? I forget when he died. I thought it was in the 50s. I could be wrong. I don't really know off the top of my head. But he maybe died in the 70s. But at any rate, it's going to be from his passing plus I want to say it's 100. Might even be 120. Yeah, Luke played on Beat It, and I loved, it can't go unmentioned. We all talk about Beat It, but you got to remember Rick Derringer's solo and the Weird Al Eat It parody. That was a good solo. I really loved that Rick Derringer solo. He brought the heat. He really did. I loved it. Walt, the 70s, okay. Oh, someone's saying December 15th, 1966. See, we're all over the place. I was like 56. Someone's saying 66. Disney died December 15th, 1966. All right. His frozen head still lives. Like a Lydian sharp 4. Michael Jackson ruined MTV. I don't know. Michael Jackson probably gave MTV a lot. When Thriller came out, I mean, that was must-see TV. That was must-see TV. Don't you have a Squire CV that looks like that? No, I have a vintage modified that looks like this, but it's the this is a 1-ply. It's got the 3-ply, and it's a rosewood neck, and it's the large headstock, and they're like Duncan design pickups. It's all stock, and the neck isn't like this. Then that neck is like I would call that a medium C, or maybe even a medium large C. This is a V-neck all day long. V, 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 V. Hey, Pixie, getting a crackle from your stream. Yeah, it was a matter of discussion for quite a while, and I apologize to everyone for the crackles, and I, a big shout out to everyone who's donated tonight towards the new unit. I mean, I'll do some troubleshooting, but I have a feeling that this is just unrecoverable hardware, unrecoverable hardware failure. Or like, at this point, what did I pay for this thing? I think I paid $270, $269.99. I think I paid for it used, and it's worked for 2 years now. No problem. I mean, at some point, I have to say, how much money would I sink into this to fix it? Probably zero. I'd probably just pick up a new Focusrite 18920 second gen. I need the 18920 though, because I have to run my my mixer into this, so I need the ADAT interface, and I don't think the lower one comes with ADAT. Oh no, if it comes with coax, I can run it. I might be able to run it now that I think about it. I mean, I don't need ADAT, because I'm not using TDIF to ADAT. No, it'll work. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, it's like an old 60s album. I know. I know. How much? What, this? This was Japanese thread. It wasn't very expensive. I want to say when these were new, they were $4.99, and I probably paid, maybe they were $5.99, but I remember paying like $4.20 for it, or $4.50 maybe, something like that. Yeah, it sounds like a Geiger counter. Oh man. Now you have me worry about radiation. Only good squire is Billy Squire. Is it an E series? Yeah, well, it was made in the 80s, but technically I don't think it is an E series because it was made in Japan and not. I know what you're saying, that the E series is made in Japan, but that would be up here. This was a different run. You know what I'm saying? Like that E series you're thinking about, I'm thinking is more like 86, 87, and maybe was 88 and 89. And this is right around 89 and then 90 is the big run on these. Again, this is an ST54. It's really meant to be the, the 54 reissue first year. Squire CV are great. Yeah, it's all right. Squires great. Yeah. Back to using computer sims. All those panel items here. Thoughts, please. Right now, I'm going through the PC sim. Though I do have the reload box, and I do have the Shaman 2 over there. I just haven't had those hooked up lately because I've been sort of going through a big thing with TH3. But I go through phases. You know what I turned on the other day here, and I thought it really sounded, I was surprised at how good it sounded, and I hadn't turned it on in a while. It was Revolver 4. I opened it up for the first time in probably months, and it was like, oh, there's a new update, and I downloaded it, and I got all this, like, new crap, and I went through and checked out a couple patches. I was like, you know what, this thing sounds pretty damn good. Revolver. So I'll have to go back and go through it. They just added a whole bunch of new ACT cabs to it, which is their sort of like active clone technology, I think it is, and it'll clone a Strat to a Les Paul and all that stuff, instrument changing stuff. So I gotta check it out. Hello from Scotland. What's up, Thomas? Hope your family doing? Hope you're all in good health. We are. Things are going well. This is our last weekend before school starts, so the kids had a pool party over my sister's house, and now they're up in the attic, which they got up there and probably shit themselves at how clean it is, because I was up there earlier and I like cleaned the whole place up there. Sure, they got up there and were like, "Oh, look at this, Dad cleaned." Hey, Phil. What do you think of Nitro? Well, what do you think of Nitro getting back together with Victor Wooten? Well, Victor Wooten is an amazing player. And the drummer from Lamb of God. I love it. I'm going to give it a Pixie Lixxx approved. Call this fucking PA. Yeah, it was cold here. We were down to about 39 this morning. 40 was our low this morning. And that's probably the first time we've hit that since the last season. Like, you know, it's been the whole summer since we've got that crazy cold around here. Hey, what's up, Franklin? Yeah, Cannonball. I know you're training them all wrong. Yeah, they're supposed to clean. Yeah, exactly, Sovereign Sentience. They go to a pool party. They're eating pizza. They're having snacks. They're taking photos of them, like, jumping in the air before they fall in the pool. And, you know, all this stuff. I'm watching all this stuff on Facebook. I'm here. I'm like, you know, raking over the trench we had to put out to get the final rocks out of the ground before reseeding it. You know, I'm sawing up doors to be burned up in the back. I'm like cleaning up. I'm putting through laundry. I tell you, no respect. No respect. What's up, Rob? Little audio distortion here, slight buzzing in the background. Yeah, that was the story of the night for a while here, Reese. The crackling of the audio, which wasn't here 2 nights ago. So I'm telling you, it's that power outage. That's it. It was the frickin' power outage. Hey, from MA, play something VH2 inspired. Is Yeah, the crackling is bad. I know. Audio crackling is bad. Crackling has turned into more of a buzz. Yeah, just drink. Just drink. You won't notice it. Just take a little bit of that sweet alcohol. Picks, when are you doing a recording video? Probably start back next week. The kids get back to school on Wednesday actually. And then I'm good to go. Philip McKnight, nice PRS interview, Phil. Yeah, absolutely, Phil. That was killer. Nice get, as we like to say in the industry. Oh, man. You probably might as well go for a soda. I don't know that one. Is it beer o'clock already? A few more minutes. I don't know if I even have any beer over there. That's another thing. Don't get me started. That fridge has been raided a lot lately. It's probably only like friggin' ciders, you know, hard ciders left or some crack. Maybe fall back east, but it's 102 here in Valencia. Yeah, we were pretty you know, mild here. You know, we were up, you know, in the 80s and so forth. And then it fell back. You know, it's been fairly just a little bit muggy, you know, dew points up. But then yesterday, boy, it all came crashing down. We just got a big cannonball of, you know, Arctic air out of Canada, which at this time of the year is, you know, means like a high of about 65, 70 degrees and a dew point in like the mid 30s. I mean, it was brisk and windy. And, yeah, no, it felt cold in here. It felt like fall. It felt more like October. But it's already getting milder, and it's going to rain all day tomorrow. And then it's going to be 88, 90 degrees by Tuesday. So this is that time of year where we oscillate back and forth. Hey, Art, thanks so much, buddy. Totally appreciate it. I'm going to be buying a new interface. And it goes a long way. Much appreciated. Heard War Paint rhythm section drummer is outrageous. No, I will check them out though. My kids start school after Labor Day. They do, but unlike a lot of other parts of the country, they don't get out of school until about almost July, very late June. Like we have friends who start in August, but their kids get out, I think, even before June. After your comments on the pre-live show, like that, my live show, I've been jonesing for a P90 SG real hard. Yeah, it happens, dude. Yeah, you're like, man, you know, I didn't know I wanted it, and now I totally need that. Yeah, it happens. You still have that Focus 2i2 that you used for the amps, and if that's an option in the meantime. I don't know if that's an option in the meantime. It might be. Remember, I have to plug this microphone has to go through this old preamp. And then that preamp, which right now is connected to this digitally through a coax, I might be able to connect it through an analog out, just through one of the main outs into the back. That might work. And I could maybe able to use the 2i2. But that's not a long-term solution. That's putting a Band-Aid, you know, on a much bigger cut. So I really got to get a new, like, serious unit, and it's probably going to be like something like this, like an 18i20. Ibanez Great Buys, oh man, that'll do it. What's up, gaming music? What's up, Cowtown Customs? What do you think of the Ibanez Steve Locather Roadstar 2? Have you ever encountered them? I have. I remember those from the 80s. Those were killer guitars. That was the old headstock, right? The old wave one. The old paddle. Like an oar paddle. I'm a fan. Some Steel Dragon. Steel Dragon. Oh, man. Which I think was supposed to be very loosely based on, Judas Priest, right? Thoughts on U.S. special strats? I like them. They're not for everyone, because not everyone likes the large headstock, but I like the styling on them, and I think they're made great. T-shirts, bro, T-shirts. You know what? I know, Jim, you ask all the time. Oh, this shirt, that's a Hosa shirt. Hosa, Hoses, my broses. How does one donate to? I think there's a little $sign underneath the chat, and I think you click that. You gotta take a piss, it happens. Thoughts on Gibson's 2018 line? Well, you know, you gotta give them credit. They're trying to do something. See you, Mr. Busy. See you, 48 Diamond. Yeah, it's a, you know, and I think Fluff really nailed it the other day. He's like, you know, can a guitar company, an old guitar company, even come out with a new guitar? Seems like every time someone wants to, it always seems to be a variation on a theme, right? So, you know, they've done the Les Paul to death, and they've done the Strat to death, but, you know, they try to come out with a new body shape, and everyone's like, it's so hard for them. It's like they're almost like pigeonholed into these classic models. It's like if it didn't come out before like 1980, no one cares. You play any acoustic? Yeah, I love acoustic. You know, acoustic, I should really gotta get back into that. It's a different beast. It's a different beast. It really is. Because it's a lot less. It's just no bending. It's all slides, and you know, and open strings whenever possible. Usually sounds pretty good. Oh, iOS doesn't have the $sign. Yeah, that's probably Apple. Apple's like, well, if you want the $sign, we got to take a 30% cut of that. Play SRV Pride and Joy. Right? Probably need a. I mean, that's got a lot of. That's not a particularly good. You know, I don't like that cab. I like that cab a lot better. Let me save that. Just picked up Osweiler. Yeah, we just dumped Jacoby, right? The backup quarterback. Brissett, Jacoby Brissett. That sounds great. What was that one I was playing the other day? Well, I don't think it was that one. all the way up too, right? All the way up, all the way up, all the way up. Everything's... Pixie have just been given a West Tone Thunder bass. What do you think of them? I like West Tone. They've been around forever. That was a brand the music store actually carried back in the 80s, was West Tone. I used to carry them. I always liked them. You know, they were a no-frills guitar that just, they were rock solid. I got no problem with West Tone. All right, let's go tone shopping here. We like the more of the... Almost feels a little thin. Good night from Scotland. Hey, thanks for staying up, buddy. I really appreciate it. Any tellies? Yeah, I got a couple tellies. Got a Squire telly, and I've got an American Standard. Yeah, Big Log. I can't. Oh God. Think of it. Hey dude, what do you think of Steinberger guitars and basses? I think they've gotten... I regret not buying one back in the 80s, because I could have got one for not a ton of money back then, and right now they're all getting like, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 plus for those instruments. Those were a pretty good investment. I really wish I bought one, but oh well. Was swore by Headless Guitars. Yeah, I like his one with the headstock though. He made one Kiesel with a headstock that I really liked. You know, it was like a 4-2 split. Might have been a 3-3, but I don't think so. I think it was 4-2, and it was nice. And it was a semi hollow body, right? It was chambered. And he made two. He made the regular. He made the Fat Boy, which was like double, almost like a regular Oreo and a double stuffed Oreo, right? Super Bowl predictions. Okay, I'm going to say Pats 103. Let's say Green Bay 3. Have you met Greg Koch? No, and I'd love to. He's one of my favorite guitar players on YouTube. Big fan of the Kochmeister. In fact, I just bought his. I just purchased his latest CD, which sounds archaic, but I did it because I wanted to support, you know, small musicians, and he's one of them. He's a guy that's, you know, regular gigging guy with a wife and kids. So I think it's called Toby Arrives. And he basically got this, his son knew of this keyboard player who's got that old, you know, blues, you know, boogie sort of vibe. This guy's really, really good keyboard player. And Greg latched onto him right away and was like, "Oh no, this guy, he's the real deal." So they have a video, a CD coming out and a bunch of videos. Hey, look, China Guitar. See, everyone's here tonight. I think I saw Will's Easy Guitar earlier. There's Phil, a China Guitar skeptic. Of course, Terry. But RJ. I mean, all the guy. Everyone's here. Everyone. Patriots versus Hawks. Hawks by 7. Hawks were almost by 7. It was close. We snatched victory from the jaws of defeat on that one. Same with last year. Our last 2 wins, those last year felt more inevitable. The one against Seattle was just a fluke. Greg Cock is like 6'8". Yeah, I don't think he's that quite tall, but he's up there. He's like at least, I think he's 6'6". He's up there. I've actually been next to a guy 6'8". The guy who, and I have to go to him soon. The guy who cuts my hair does a lot of the pats, and he had, was it Vollmer in there, I think, one time? It was ahead of me getting his hair cut, and he's 6'8". It was whoever the tallest guy on the pats was. I think it was Vollmer. And, oh my God, was that dude huge. Jesus. Baker, yeah. Baker. I'm just giving him shit. Yeah, and Tone King, too. Jesus. Where are they? I mean, can you play Ozzy on a Strat? Sure. Opinion on Bogner amps. I think they're killer. Like the Shiva. I think they're killer. Someone just mentioned, just got a Friedman Runt 20 and it kills. I'm sure it does. That Runt is also, I think Phil can talk about that as well. I think he's got a Runt. Again, Friedman, the guy, he's got the amp stuff. The amps do sound good. It's pretty good stuff. That Runt especially. People are talking. Heard Craig claim he's 6'8" on YouTube. Yeah, maybe, but he might be just goofing around a little bit, right? He could be 6'8", right? But knowing him, it could be for comedic intent. He could be 6'5" or 6'6" and be like, when you're 6'8", let's see. But maybe he is. He could very well be. He's a tall guy. Yeah, a little Aldo Nova for you. I'm just checking these. Sorry, these are going by a little bit for me here. The Trooper. Someone just said Steve Stevens isn't a bad player. Steve Stevens is an awesome player. Do never, ever underestimate Steve Stevens as a player. Because a lot of, he's one of those guys that has, he's a deep player. In other words, he's not like me, who has like a very fairly limited set of riffs and draws off of like a pretty small group of players, rock, mainly rock and blues players, and that's about it. But Steve Stevens, actually, he's got a pretty deep knowledge of the instrument, and he'll even like break out like little vaudeville turnarounds, little stuff. I mean, the guy, he's a student of the instrument. He really is. The guy is the guy's good. How tall are you, Pix? Well, I'm shrinking, apparently. I was when I graduated graduate school and I was measured for Cap Magan, I was measured at 6, but I was measured recently and I was 5'11". I was like, damn you, gravity. Pix, I think he means you make me want to be a better guitar player. Oh, good. I want to be a better guitar player too. We're all on that. We call it the endless treadmill. It never ends, right? Chicago Pixie, yeah. Make my way out to Chicago. All-time favorite band? Oh, that'd be hard. It's really hard to choose one. I mean, I will tell you that there was definitely a time in my life where I would only listen to like Led Zeppelin, or like only listen to like Ozzy, right, for like months at a time. You notice Chinese quality in guitars lately, they're getting really good. I don't doubt it. I mean, every year the manufacturing just gets better and better. Machine companies want to come out with new models that have better accuracy and cost a lot less money. So, a factory that a few years ago couldn't afford like a top CNC machine now can totally afford one. And they went from, within about, a tenth of an inch to within a thousandth of an inch, in tolerance. So it just gets better and better and better, How's your friend's Greco SS600 holding up? Holding up great. In fact, I just gave him his PF 200 back, and he loved it. He said it came out really great. So that was awesome. And I got a couple of Yamahas here that he left, some Pacificas. Those are a little trickier because someone stuck the wrong size bridge on it, and literally the bottom block sticks too far out. I have to get a shorter block for it, like a custom made block too. And I'm assuming like the top plate is standard. I mean, who knows how the bolt on the top plate is. Now I have to try and make sure that whatever goes on there is going to have the correct thread and spread size for the top bolts. It never ends, right? What's up, Nate? Yeah, Steve Morse, another guy who's like amazing, totally technical. Is that your Strat? Yeah, it's mine. This is an old one. I've had this a long time. And I'm trying to think, if you, I don't know if you can. When I talk about the Gem 777, in that picture, and it might be definitely up on Facebook, but I don't know, in that video, you can see this. This guitar is in that photo. I have it by then. And you can see my other one, my scallop guitar, my RG560. That's in the same photo. Those are the two that made it. Pixie, how do you feel about Bugera amps? I don't mind them. My problem with Bugera is that they haven't had a great track record for lasting, right? And I think they fixed that with their like Infinium system that I think had a better like self-biasing and helped with a consistent problem with them maybe ripping through tubes or something. I don't know. Bugera seems to have a rep out there of being a bit of a paper tiger, right? They sound awesome, but you lay one finger on it, and the next thing you know, it won't work again. So sorry about the crackling audio, man. I know it's giving you a headache. Sorry, buddy. Thanks for hanging out. It'll be fixed by the next one, I promise. It'll definitely be fixed. How about getting a Gretsch 6120? You know, Gretsch was on my radar because we had that de-armament here the other day for Shane from In the Blues to play. And it has like those Filtertron pickups. And I was like, oh, you know, man, maybe I need a Gretsch. He's like, oh, I didn't know I wanted one, and now I think I do. You know how that goes. You play the Top Gun theme? I can't. I don't think I ever learned that one. That one used to be in the mags all the time. I'll have to take a look. I never did learn the Top Gun theme. I got a tweaker on back order from Sweetwater. Oh, yeah, from an Egnator tweaker. Rob Zombie says he's not getting the crackling, but I can hear it. I'm making bank tonight, I know. I have a 28-year-old friend. I have a 28-year-old Strat. The question is, should I get it refretted? Well, you might be able to get away just with, you know, a leveling and a crowning. But if the metal is too low, yeah, you might have to. You might have to. It's calmed down a bit. You think so? You know, it might be calmed down just a little bit. Whip It by Diva. Crack that whip. No problem with Crackle sounding excellent tonight. I know it does feel to be, doesn't it feel to be a little bit lower in the mix at the very least? Oh, maybe not. God. Now I'm hearing it. It'll take nothing like focusing on something to bring it out. What's up, Brazil? I have 3 MIG Strats, 2 from 85, 1 from 86. They all need fretwork, but one really needs refretting. That was the first one I got. Well, that makes sense. Back in 85. What's up, Brian? Yeah, you know, at some point you got to bite the bullet and just get it done. Just bring it to somebody who does like a lot of refret work. You know, I'd say don't bring it to like Guitar Center. Find a luthier in your area. Like around here, for like a Strat refret, I'd probably bring it to Wolf because he probably does, you know, a dozen a month. You know, he can do a refret in his sleep. For something like nicer, like a Gibson or an acoustic, especially a nice acoustic, I would probably go to Mark Herbert and pay the money, pay the price to go to him. Quite frankly, a lot of guitars, I think I could refret them myself, just because I have the leveling and crowning in place. I just don't have the calls, and I have a you know, I have a press. I have a in fact, they make calls that fit into a drill press. I have a drill press, you know. But it really only works for me when I can take the neck, when I can detach the neck like a Strat, right? An acoustic or like any set neck, I don't think I'd do that myself. I wouldn't risk it. What's up, Whip Jr.? Man, Crackle's going down and down. People saying they think the Crackle's going down. Oh, I hope so, guys. But go get those string club memberships from Guitar Set. What's string club memberships? Are they doing a are they doing it like a subscription service, right? Where you get into a membership to save money on strings? What are your thoughts about Alnico versus ceramic? I tend to like Alnico, I think. Which is the lower one? I think ceramics are the... Which one was now I don't know. Because Alnico has a few different... I think I like Alnico. But why do I hear cracklings? Well, check the first 20 minutes of this and you'll... You have to be at least 80 years old to play a Gretsch. Nah. What would I go? I go... is it there? B, right? It's those last two notes. I forget it now. I know it starts out. Heck yeah, GC Club is going to be awesome. I got 2 memberships, so you get 10 a month. I must be deaf. I don't hear this crackling. Paul, get your hearing checked, bro. That is a... admittedly, it's way in the upper band, so you might be having some high-end loss. That's some stuff you have to work on. Things like this. It hurts. See, I must hear it more there. Fluence pickups, yeah, I hear a lot about them. God, they're in a huge... They're doing a push. They're out there. Streams and crackles. This is Phil. This is Phil going, dude. I'm 99% sure from a hard drive bleeding on the USB port. 1% of it could be by... I'm very confident it's related to USB drive bleeding. The whole drive writing pattern. Alright. Alright. I'm getting some technical advice. And he thinks it's a USB bleed. In other words, he's thinking that... Well, for a couple of seconds there, for just 2 or 3 seconds, it almost looked like the crackles were syncing up with the drive light, but that went away in about 2 seconds. I was like, oh, wait, he's right, it's syncing up with... Oh, no, it's not. But he might be right. It could be a crossover, right? The USB. He seems to think it's that. He wants me to try another USB port, and I will. Pixie doing GitCon? I am doing GitCon. So that should be good. Looking forward to the GitCon. Go SSD. I got, well, that's what the you know, the system drive is. It's an SSD, 256 gig SSD, but I do have a terabyte data drive, you know. Do any ladies watch this? I get like a 98% Sausage Fest rating. I'm rated 98% on sausagefest.net. Thing is, I obviously, if I unplugged it now, I would lose audio for a considerable amount of time. So I'm not going to try it live, but I will try that. I will give that that. Dan Parker says t-shirts soon. You know what, guys? I will do t-shirts like as soon as my kids get back, like next week. I'll get it done. I will do it. I'll do it. And because I love doing t-shirts because, you know, I feel, you know, at least I earn a little bit of money, but at least people getting something, you know. It better than, you know, I think for me, for like than Patreon or anything like that. I like to do the t-shirts. I have never completely ruled out a Patreon, but if you'll notice, I still don't have one. I'm not in any hurry to get one going either. How'd the Garage come out? Garage came out awesome. And they just signed off with the town. My dad was like, don't call the town. Well, I'm calling the town. We did. And it got all signed off, and we're all legit. It's all above board. You know, I pulled a permit. Cost me $50, but it's the best $50 ever. Yeah, this is an 89 Japanese, made in Japan Strat, the ST54, which is why it's the 2-color instead of the 3-color Sunburst. I've had this one a long time. A long time. You like Michael Schenker? Sure. Yep. Nothing wrong with that. What's your favorite guitar? You know, it's hard to say, you know, Strat. Maybe Ibanez RGs. I always like that shape, and I always like the wizard neck, but at the end of the day, I'm probably a Strat guy. I don't know. It's hard to say. I like the two-tone, too. Do you work at Harvard? No, my wife almost worked at Harvard, though. I do not. Harvard. Well, you know any Jeff Beck? I used to. Something like that. Something like that. Something like that. And what was his other one? think of Johnny Cash? Killer. Wrote some killer songs. Seeing Alice Cooper tomorrow. You know, I wish I was going. They just played around here with Deep Purple. Right, the Deep Purple double bill. Pixie Lixxx, you're going to be meeting Music is Win at KitCon? I got to think so. Looks like it's a small place. There's only going to be about 20 of us. He won't be able to run that far. He can run, but he can't hide. Get over here, you. Hey, what's up, Ken? What's up in Saugus? They finally taken the ship down, huh? That's the end of an era, bro. The ship. We used to have a restaurant around here that literally looked like a ship. And then the big giant cactus across the street for the Hilltop Steakhouse. And was there a lighthouse up there, too? I mean, there's I forget now. There's been a few, though. Tonight, are you running the PV Revolver software? No, tonight I'm running TH3. I'm jealous. Saga still has a Hooters. We just got a Hooters. It just opened up in Dedham. Guys, we should all meet up down at the Hooters and get some beer and wings. You know. Later, Robert. I mean Daniel. Sorry. Robert says Dixie Dregs. I love the Dixie Dregs, but I can't play. It's gone. Yeah, I heard it. Yeah, it's gone. It's finally, it's over. The ship has sailed. Hey Thomas, what's up, buddy? Best LP style guitar in a budget. Well, a bunch of people would tell you that Harley Benton, right? Although I don't think those are available too much in the States. And then, of course, the other one would be by Rondo Music there. God, on the tip of my tongue. You know that one. That one by Rondo Music. Yeah, 98% sausage, 2% Hooters. We should, we should meet up down at the Hooters. Get a pitcher of beer. Agile, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Icon. Thank you. Correct, Agile. So, those are probably your two bigger, brands out there that are doing the Les Paul style copies. That people swear by. You hear it. A lot of people just say, I really like that. Pixie, let me know when you want Panos Arvanitis on here. I can arrange it. I would love to. I'd like to get any of that Panos mojo. I've been out for a bit. Is there any progress on the Halloween guitar? As a matter of fact, there has been a little progress on the Halloween guitar. It's not only on my to-do list. I'm looking to, hopefully get it ready for, an October surprise. Get it out there. Scallop the neck because it's a Strat and it should be punished. Nah. If you get maple's hard to scallop. Rosewood's easy to scallop at home. Maple not so much. I like scallop necks. Pixie, I do. The weird thing is that you play a scallop neck for a little while, and then you go back to a regular guitar, and you're like, oh wow, this is a little harder to play. Scallop necks can be really easy to play, but you got to get used to them. Sometimes people pick up a scallop. You either love it or you hate it, right? I love the scallop neck, but a lot of people pick it up and they're like, eh. Fox Crush, you don't want to see the Halloween guitar? I think it could be interesting. Questions, late 80s or early 90s 540S or RG. The 540S was probably, it depends. If it was the RG7 series, then the 540S and the RG series will be roughly the same build quality. But if it's the RG5 series, the 550, the RG550, I don't think quite lined up with the 540S. I don't think so. I think the 540 was considered a little bit, especially if it had the shark tooth inlay or and the binding on the neck. That was considered like a, you know, slightly, like one peg above the 500 series, the RG 500 series. So 700 series to the 540S all day long. I'd probably go with the 700 series. But you know, when you get the 540S, you get like IBZ USA pickups. You can't get that on the Ibanez 500 RG series. Just not available. You have to get to the 700 series to get that. So. Steve, what happened to summer in Boston? Yeah, so you know. You're from around here. It got chilly. It got really chilly. Is it worth buying a new Kramer? Hard to say. I think the rumor is that they're going to make a big comeback this NAMM show, and that they started posting again. I haven't checked their website. Maybe they're posting more crap on their website. I don't know. But we'll see. We'll see. I'd love to see a reboot. Oh, an hour and a half already. Is it really? Wow, dude, it's almost like we got like 20 minutes to go. Boy, this blew fly. Well, the problem is we spent the first 20 minutes pissing and moaning about that crackle, which never went away. And to everyone who donated money, super, super appreciated. I'll get a new unit. I'm going to have to. I'll try what he said about switching out the USBs, but I'm not feeling particularly, good about it. YouTube revenue, yeah, YouTube revenue. If you ask any YouTuber about their YouTube revenue, unless you're like one of the top, you probably need a minimum of like a couple of million views a month to really make a go at it on YouTube. You're not going to do it. I get like 250,000 views a month. You're not going to get those. You can't make a living off of it like that. How'd you come up with your channel name? I've talked about it before, but it's a spoof on like Nikki Sixx. It's really a spoof on Lexi Fox. I was going to do a Steel Panther video, and I said, "Oh, I'll make like they did. I'll make old '80s retro names." And then the contest was over, and the channel kept going, and I was like, "Geez, I'm stuck with this name now." And for a while, it was like kind of a fun spoof, but we got to come up with a new name. They Hosa wants to give me like a shout out on their page. It's like someone who uses their products, and they're gonna put Pixie Lakes up, and I'm like, yeah, boy, this train, she's a rolling, huh? See you, Mike. Don't like PRS CE22. I like PRS. I don't mind PRS. The CE series, I think that's what I played when we were out at the Natick store within the Blues, and I really liked that neck. That might have been the first time. That might have been the first time I had a chance to play the wide thin, because I gotta say that was thin front to back. I'd never played a PRS neck like that. That might have been the first time I actually played a wide thin, and I liked it. It was somewhat like an Ibanez neck, but wider. But it had that thin front to back. I was like, that's pretty good. Most of the other PRS necks I've played were thicker, rounder, closer to a Gibson. I want to donate, but literally nothing in my checking account. Don't worry, dude. It's the thought. I get it. Trust me. I've been there. I know. I know the feeling. Did you see the new 2018 Gibson line? Well, I saw the new shape that they put out. Everyone's talking about that new double cutaway that they did. And, you know, they don't... they don't get received well. Anytime, we talked about this earlier, that, you know, anytime you come out with a new guitar from an old company, it's always a rumph, but, you know, you never know. You like April Wine? You know, for some reason, I think I do, but I can't think of a single song off the top of my head. I love Guitar Center, Natick, Guitar Centers around me, and Albaro, Warwick, charge too much for the used guitars. Yeah, the one, it really, and you can see that, you know, you can see that when you do the national searches. The same guitar in Manhattan is more expensive than the same guitar in Kansas City. Right? Just is. The 2018 LP Studio looks sick. Yeah? I'll have to check it out. I'll have to check that out. How about a few minutes of solo? Great play. Let's just Now that went south fast. High roller, baby. Yeah. Is that high roller? Sign of the Gypsy Queen. Now that sounds familiar. I bet if I heard it, I'd be like, oh, right. Hello there from the Dominican. Getting ready for GitCon. I am getting ready for GitCon. Gibson did the M3 release, and it was badass. Very limited numbers. Sign of the Gypsy. All right. My cat sucks at getting me coffee. Yeah. It happens. So that's the other thing. This could use a little fretwork. Yeah, she's a roller. That sounds familiar. Play some Skinnerd. Second time he goes to the low one. Something like that. Pixie, what's a good humbucker for an alder body Strat for 80s metal? I like the JB. I think the JB is a killer, and I've had it in so many good alder body guitars. I know it works well. I like the DiMarzio Super Distortion. I know some people don't like it. I like that pickup. Sorry. What else? I like the Tone Zone. And I like the PAF Pro. That's probably one of my favorite pickups is the DiMarzio PAF Pro. DiMarzio Breed is an awesome bridge pickup, yeah. Pixie, your rock is great, super, but your blues is wonderful with the guy down under. Yeah, you know, I do like playing the blues. You know, so in fact, my closest style is probably blues, right? I'm definitely more of a blues than a classical oriented player. Tone Zone, too much bass. Yeah, yeah. I swear, I almost like the lighter pickups. Not so everyone wants crazy output, but I don't think that sounds as good. I think you want like medium output. You don't want too low an output, but I think you're better in the right in the middle. The JB does cut. Yeah, I agree with that. Favorite neck pickup? Again, the PAF Pro. I think the PAF Pro on the neck sounds killer. You know, the Jazz. I think the Whole Lot of Humbucker neck sounds great. And that Diamond guitar, I'd put a Whole Lot of Humbucker on that list. I was impressed with that. And then, in DiMarzio, I like the, I forget, is it the Air Norton? Or, I forget, they have one that's really sort of like their version of the JB. I mean, the Jazz for the neck. .498T. Those are those have a fairly high output though, don't they? The 498s. Am I thinking of a? Maybe I'm thinking of a different series. Duncan Jazz is my favorite neck pickup of choice. It's a popular one. The 59. That's another good one. Someone just, Rob M pointed out the 59 Jazz, but the 59 I think actually makes a really good neck pickup because it's brighter, right? And it gets a little bit more straddle. You don't want it too muddy, and it's so easy to mud up when you get away from the neck. You know, I mean the bridge. When you get closer to the neck, you know, deeper tones for sure. We got a few more minutes here. Gibson 57s aren't bad. Yeah, you know, I don't know. You know, Gibson, they're so all over the place with pickups. Ever think about running for office? No. I can say that with certainty. No. You like the burst buckers, you know. Air Classic neck. Maybe that's what I'm thinking of, Air Classic instead of Air Norton. Is the Norton the bridge version? SD Pearly Gates, there's one. That's a killer. That's been around forever, too. The Pearly Gates is, you know, that's been around since, what, the late 80s, early 90s. See you, John. You still have that Chapman ML7? I do. That might be on one of the lists of guitars to go, though, because you know, I'm looking to thin it out a little bit, and you know, it's just it's 7 strings. It's not because it's a Chapman. It's because it's a Chapman 7-string. I just don't do well with the 7 strings. ever play a PVT 60 Thoughts. They're a bit of a tank. The ones I've played were really heavy, sort of like PV's, I think, attempt at maybe a Les Paul. You know, at least the ones I played were. See you, Rob. See you, PB Brown. Yeah, we're going to be wrapping up here in just a couple of minutes. You wear makeup in front of a camera, you're just a boy fan. I'm not wearing makeup. I have a ghastly pallor. What's the asking price of the ML7? You know, I got to think about it. I don't know. You know, they don't make it anymore, and you know, maybe I don't know what were they new, like. I think they're like. So I got it at a discount, so I wasn't paying retail. But it's you know, what were those new, like $700, $699? I don't know. Maybe $500 for it or something. I know, the snap crackle pop. I know. The Fender Texas Special sound rough to my ear. You know, I kind of agree with that. You know, the specials I think are almost a little too hot, a little too overwound. I'm a big fan of the Custom Shop 69s. I think those sound killer. All right, guys. I think I'm ready to wrap it up here. We're going just about 2 hours. Do you want to sell the Strat you're playing right now? No. I've had this one since '89, so no, it'd be like selling one of your kids. Yeah, just looking at the 7-string and wondering if you've really spent the last 20 years looking at the guitar. I know. It's like that one extra string just screws me up. I'm like, what? It's like, how can that happen? How can it be so hard? But it does. It really does. It screws me up. Pixie, what do you think of Glenn Fricker? I like Glenn. Glenn's my buddy. We went to lunch out at the NAMM show. I like Glenny. Glenn. 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 In fact, we got to write a buddy of mine who's an absolute killer bass player. We might be working on a song called For Glenn, which showcases a number of advanced bass playing techniques. All right, dudes. I think we're going to wrap it up. Thanks for, if you stuck through the crackle, I really appreciate it. And if you donated tonight, I super appreciate it. And, you know, the crackle will be gone next time. And we'll be able to, I'll be able to tell you exactly. I just thought maybe if I move the keyboard a little, maybe it'll do it. No. I think Phil's onto something. I'm going to try Phil's fix first. I'm going to try Phil's fix first. And if that doesn't fix it, then we'll say fuck it. We'll get rid of it. And we'll get a new one. But we'll try Phil first. All right, dudes. We're just about 9 o'clock. I'm going to wrap her up here. I'm so glad you hung out with me tonight. And I will, I'll see you, you know, when I get back. You know, the next time I'm back, it'll be right after I got back from GitCon. And I'll have slideshows. I figured out how to run a slideshow. We'll run, you know, how can I, you know, we can do it. See? You don't think I can, but I can. So we'll switch it up. We'll run a live show. We'll do that, and hopefully I'll have it all set for next time. And until next time, rock on. Try to avoid crackles if you can. If you can. I know not everyone will be able to. But I appreciate you hanging out. I appreciate you suffering through the crackles. And if I didn't get to your question, I'll try to get to it next time. And as always, thanks so much for hanging out. And rock on.